Ovechkin is one of just 8 guys who scored at least 40 goals 2 years ago and last season as well. If Ovi can get back in the groove, we can once again start talking about how we only need 71 more goals to pass the great one. Every player wants to get off to a good start at the beginning of the season, but even the best of them sometimes stumble out of the gate. This week on the Sportsnet Power Rankings, we're asking, what's up with some big names who've underperformed this season? There was one thing every hockey fan was looking forward to watching over the next couple years. It was seeing Alex Ovechkin chase down Wayne Gretzky's all-time career record of 894 goals. I know I busted out the calculator a few times in the past few seasons to see when Ovi might become the all-time goal king. Well, do we need to start couching this all-time goal conversation in if terms again? Ovechkin didn't get his first goal until the 5th game of the year. Now, he scored again in his 6th, but those still represent his only 2 tallies this season. The most shocking thing, though, might have been seeing the Great 8 go without a shot on goal for 2 games. This from a guy who's averaged just under 5 shots per game in his career and has put more pucks on goal by a mile than any other player in the past decade. If Ovi can get back in the groove, we can once again start talking about how we only need 71 more goals to pass the great one. Ovechkin is one of just 8 guys who scored at least 40 goals 2 years ago and last season as well. Another guy in that club is Jason Robertson, who is stuck on just 2 tallies so far this year. Now, Robertson's shooting percentage is just a hair over 7% right now. That's just about half of the 14% success rate he had last season. Combine that with his still pretty strong underlying numbers, and maybe there's a case the goals are about to come. Robertson, who finished 4th in Hart Trophy balloting last year, is one of the best young snipers in the game, so the Stars really need him to lock in soon. Remember the summer of 2022 when we were all floored by Johnny Gaudreau signing with the Columbus Blue Jackets? I mean, I think even the Jackets were surprised when Johnny Hockey called to say he'd be interested in making Columbus his long-term home. The good vibes that came from a big star signing in a small market made it easy to overlook his underwhelming production in what was basically a lost season for the Jackets last year. It's a new day though, and the Jackets are desperately trying to turn the page, and Gaudreau has just a single goal and only 5 points through a dozen games. He's even been stapled to the bench here and there by new coach Pascal Vincent. The honeymoon is over in Central Ohio, and it's time for Gaudreau to get going. Now let's get a look at the full ranking. Devils standing pat at number 8. A tough test here as both their stud centers, Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier, are on the shelf with injuries. Are the Red Wings crashing back to earth? They're down this week in the rankings thanks to just 2 victories in their past 7 games. After a nice start, the Habs are down to number 24 thanks to 4 straight losses. Yes, the Sharks got their first win this week, but it's going to take a lot more than that to move them out of last place in the ranking. Alright, I'm Ryan Dixon. By the time you see me again next week, these guys may have rediscovered their scoring touch, be on their way to monster seasons. No matter how things play out though, I'll be here all season long with your Sportsnet Power Rankings.